Hotel. Live on Broadway delivers an absolutely spectacular concert experience that not only celebrates the season 2 premiere, but also reveals massive storyline developments that will completely change the direction of the animated series. This special live event transforms the beloved characters from animated form into flesh and blood performers who bring incredible energy and emotional depth to songs that advance the plot in surprising ways. What starts as a simple concert celebration quickly becomes an essential viewing experience that provides crucial context for understanding where season 2 is heading and how the aftermath of the Heaven-Vees Hell battle is reshaping the entire power structure of both realms. The Broadway special opens with the familiar chaos of Hell's News Network, where Katie Killjoy and Tom Trench are frantically trying to understand what's happening at the Hazbin Hotel after Charlie Morningstar and her team successfully defended against Heaven's attack. The media portrayal immediately establishes the central conflict that will drive season 2, public perception versus reality regarding Charlie's mission and methods. Katie's sensationalist reporting paints Charlie as a bloodthirsty angel killer rather than someone who was forced to defend her friends in Hotel. He's setting up the propaganda war that becomes crucial to understanding the political landscape of Hell. The hotel itself is experiencing unprecedented popularity, but for all the wrong reasons. Sinners are flooding in not because they want redemption, but because they believe the Hazbin Hotel is where they can learn to kill angels and join Charlie's supposed anti-angel army. This fundamental misunderstanding of Charlie's mission creates enormous stress for her as she watches her dream of redemption being twisted into something violent and vengeful. The irony that her success in defending the hotel has attracted exactly the kind of people she's trying to help reform creates the perfect dramatic tension for exploring themes of unintended consequences and media manipulation. Angel Dust's celebrity status as a porn star creates additional complications as his presence draws crowds who are more interested in his adult entertainment career than in redemption. His interaction with fans who want autographs and photos highlights how fame can overshadow personal growth and genuine transformation. The character's struggle to balance his public persona with his genuine desire for change becomes a powerful metaphor for anyone trying to escape their past while living in the public eye. The introduction of Baxter, a new resident scientist character, provides fascinating insight into how redemption might work for different types of sinners. Unlike the others who are driven by emotion or desperation, Baxter approaches redemption as a scientific hypothesis to be tested rather than a personal journey to be experienced. His skeptical attitude and intellectual approach create interesting dynamics with Charlie's emotional and idealistic methods. He's suggesting that redemption isn't a one-size-fits-all process but requires different approaches for different personality types. Charlie's emotional breakdown reveals the psychological toll of leadership and the trauma of witnessing violence, even when it was necessary for survival. Her conversation with her father, Lucifer, provides crucial character development as we see how the pressure of being Hell's princess affects her mental health and decision-making abilities. Lucifer's advice about the show must go on reflects his own coping mechanisms while highlighting the generational differences in how they handle responsibility and public scrutiny. The Vees storyline takes a dramatic turn as Vox reveals his master plan to use the hotel's reputation and Hell's renewed hope to start a hell-wide uprising against Heaven, with themselves positioned at the top of the new power structure. This revelation transforms them from petty overlords into potential threats to the cosmic order itself. Vox's backstory about leading a cult on Earth adds disturbing depth to his character while explaining his obsession with control and worship. His vision of ruling Heaven represents the ultimate corruption of Charlie's message, using her success to justify conquest rather than redemption. The musical numbers throughout the concert serve as both entertainment and plot advancement, with songs like Come On In showcasing Charlie's desperate attempts to maintain her positive message while everything around her spirals out of control. The contrast between her upbeat presentation and her internal breakdown creates powerful dramatic irony that highlights the gap between public expectations and private struggles. The competing messages between the Hazbin Hotel's welcoming atmosphere and Vox's manipulative recruitment efforts demonstrate how the same events can be interpreted in completely different ways depending on the messenger. Vaggie's subplot about choosing a new name represents her journey towards self-determination and independence from Adam's influence. Her struggle to find an identity separate from the demeaning nickname he gave her reflects broader themes about reclaiming agency and defining yourself rather than accepting others' definitions. The fact that she's taking charge of hotel operations while Charlie processes her trauma shows her growth from follower to leader. He's setting up potential conflict or cooperation depending on how their different leadership styles mesh. The revelation that Sir Pentious has been redeemed and is now in heaven provides the first concrete proof that Charlie's methods actually work, validating her entire mission while simultaneously creating new complications. Emily's brief appearance to deliver this news shows that heaven itself is divided about how to respond to recent events, with some angels supporting redemption while others fear Hell's growing power. This information completely changes the stakes for everyone involved, proving that the impossible is possible while raising questions about what happens next. The concert's portrayal of grief and loss, particularly around Pentious' sacrifice, demonstrates how death affects different characters in different ways. Charlie's inability to say goodbye creates lingering trauma that affects her leadership abilities, while other characters like Cherry Bomb struggle with survivor's guilt and the sudden loss of her rival turned friend. These emotional consequences of the Heaven battle provide realistic depth to what could have been a simple victory narrative. The media manipulation subplot reveals how truth can be twisted through selective reporting and strategic omission. The same events that Charlie sees as defensive measures against unprovoked attack become evidence of her alleged bloodthirst and authoritarian tendencies when filtered through hostile media coverage. This reflection of real-world propaganda techniques adds contemporary relevance to the fantasy setting while showing how public opinion can be weaponized against those trying to create positive change. The ending sets up massive implications for Season 2 as Heaven prepares for lockdown while Hell's power structure shifts in response to the Vees' growing ambitions. Charlie's decision to temporarily step back from hotel management while Vaggie takes over creates opportunities for different approaches to the redemption mission while allowing Charlie time to process her trauma and develop new strategies for dealing with public perception and political opposition. The live Broadway format brings incredible energy and emotional authenticity to these storylines, with performers delivering powerful vocals and dynamic staging that makes animated characters feel real and immediate. The audience's live reactions add another layer of engagement, creating a shared experience that celebrates both the music and the deeper themes of redemption, power, responsibility, and the complexity of doing good in a world that often misunderstands or actively opposes positive change.